Okay, so today we're going to talk about Swiss chard and saving seeds. Coming right up. I'm John Fowkes. Let's grow someplace. Okay, so to get the seeds off of the Beta vulgaris, or your beet, or your Swiss chard, I usually take a paper bag. I let the little seeds dry on the plant. Sometimes I'll cut it and turn it upside down, but most of the time I just leave it grow and let the plant dry itself out. Once they're dry enough, I just take my bag and you can just strip these guys off. And they strip off pretty easy, but they bounce a lot. So I'm just going to show, they just bounce a lot. And you just strip them off. So just like here, just like that. Then you get the seeds. Let me just bring the seeds up here. The seeds are just these little tiny, balls. They're like a ball of seeds. It's not just a single seed. Technically, when you buy the seeds, you don't have as much stuff on the outside of them. Usually they've dried out more. And then you just have this little ball of seeds, and this little tiny seed will have 3 or 4 different actual seeds on it. So when you plant one of these, you're actually planting 3 seeds. So that's all you have to do, is you just take your plant and stuff some of the ends into the bag. Knock all the seeds off of it. This is Swiss chard here. In this case here, I've got some here that aren't really a very good solid seed. And if it's not a solid seed, no need to keep it. You've got plenty of seeds everywhere else on the plant. Just take the ones that are obviously solid. They're going to be more of a solid little rugged little ball instead of being like this stuff here. This stuff here is kind of it's not balling up as much and it's crumbling a little more, whereas this one here is just solid as can be. So we want solid seeds. So we're just going to take all those and just strip these guys off into my bag. And truthfully, how many of these does one person need? Probably about 10 or 15 seeds would probably be more than enough. But if you're into saving seeds and swapping seeds and stuff, then great. Now, because these are all in one species, you've got you have your Swiss chard, your beets. There's also a fodder plant. It's like a beet chard thing that is used for animal feed. And if these are all within a few acres of space together, so if they're like in a home garden, all together growing seeds at the same time, then your beets and your chards could possibly cross-pollinate. I've never actually tried to cross beets and chard before, and I've never grown beets for seeds. Chard, on the other hand, seems to grow great in my garden. I constantly have extra chard left over, and I'm constantly feeding it to my chickens. That's the only reason why I'm keeping these seeds, is to feed my chickens. Actually, I'm not a fan of chard. What else can I say about chard seeds? Okay, so I've got all these chard seeds now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave them in a paper bag. I mean, typically I'd use a brown paper sack, but this is one of the cold sacks from the grocery store, and so I'm just reusing it. I'm going to take that, I'm going to wrap it up, I'm going to mark it with what they are when we pick them, so when we go to plant them, we know how old they are. That's it. Swiss chard's really easy to deal with. If beets and Swiss chard cross, you can still eat them both anyway. So what? Take it easy. Grow someplace.